Robbie here at the IX Arena right here for the Soccerex Conference Europe. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of very innovative people at this conference that have created stuff for football that is completely unique. And I'm here with Jordi Torres. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Jordi's company is called Veridas. And I've got to say, like, reading up about your company, you're really at the cutting edge of what technology that's going to take football forward in years to come. Tell us about your company. Tell us how you founded it and what you do.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having us, Robbie. Yeah. We were founded in 2017, so quite a while ago. So we've been around for quite a while. We had a really clear purpose when we founded the company. That was basically guaranteeing that everyone was able to use their real identity, either in the physical world or the digital world. And when I'm saying real, I'm underlying the word real. So making sure that your identity cannot be stolen, you cannot be impersonated, and you are free to use that real identity either for accessing a stadium, so in the physical world, or for accessing a digital environment, so in the digital world. That's what would take us to what we are today.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, as I said, you're here exhibiting, and it's real cutting edge technology that you've got. Tell us a little bit more about the actual technology.
Okay, so basically we follow a process which is, first of all, verifying the identity of that person. So basically what we make sure is that technology allows you to, using any sort of ID and using a selfie, matching that ID, first of all, is a legitimate ID, so that ID is legitimate, it's not been altered, tampered, or whatever. And then we match the picture of that ID, the photo of that ID, taking a selfie, with the person who is in front of that ID. So making sure that the person who is holding the ID is holding a legitimate ID, and the person who is holding ID is the person who is the same person who is saying that ID is. Once you have that digital identity created, which is the first step, then you can start using that identity for authenticating yourself in any sort of environment. So for instance, you want to access a stadium, you don't need to hold any ticket anymore. You don't need to provide your identity or driving license or to anyone to access it. You can use your face to access the stadium. The same for the digital environment. So we do the same with voice biometrics. Voice is a biometric print, the same way the face is a biometric print. So when you call to your football club, for example, you're a member of the club, you want to do something, you don't have to run through many secret questions and making sure that you just start talking. And because you've been previously onboarded with your voice, you are authenticated immediately. So you don't have, it's all the process of getting access to a specific physical space or a digital environment. It's seamless, smooth, and most important, it's making sure that it's you. So there's no fraud, there's no one impersonating you. And those are the main benefits.
That sounds really, really cool. Where have you done this? Or what successes have you had with the Veridas product?
I mean, the technology or solutions are deployed in many different places all over the world. We have more than 250 live clients in more than 25 countries. We work a lot for the banking industry, the telecommunications industry, governments, for example, and so our technology is deployed in really demanding places, like for the entry-exit in airports, for example, places like that. But all the sports industry and all the events industry, now it's booming. It's completely booming. Why? Because there's an issue on making sure, first of all, that there's no fraud on tickets, sharing tickets, or tickets that are not real tickets, and on providing better experiences for who is going into that stadium or that sport event, on having a better experience. So all these industry now is booming and booming and booming, trying to deploy these sort of solutions.
I can tell you, as a fan who goes to games week in, week out, getting in and out games is a problem. ticketing is a problem, you know what I mean? And like you said, fraud is a problem. Like, you know, as a massive Arsenal fan, I can't tell you the amount of times I've had people get in contact with our channel and say, you know, I bought a ticket, paid £300-400 for it, turned up, and it wasn't even legit. So these solutions that you're coming up with, I think for a sport like football, are very, very important. You know,
They are. I mean, we have different use cases, like, for example, Football Club Barcelona. Football Club Barcelona have enrolled their members, all their members, with their face and their voice. So right now, Football Club Barcelona have all their members with a digital identity. Now that's a starting point for them. Once they have that digital identity, for example, members can show up in the stadium when they're building the new stadium. They will be able to show up and enter the stadium without having to show any season ticket or nothing like that. Their face is going to be their best.
So just be able to walk up, facial recognition, and walk straight in.
Exactly.
And that will speed up. That will speed up the how quick fans get into the ground.
A lot. I mean, you can see that people standing in the queue just showing a ticket. They're just waiting there, and you see the other line, which is like a fast track, where people just showing the face. They're just going in, just thousands of people per minute.
Sounds brilliant. What sort of competition do you face in this landscape? Because it is a very competitive field.
There are companies doing similar things, but I would say that one of the main things that sets apart Veridas from other companies is that we are a 360 degrees company, which means that some competitors provide all the digital onboarding, digital identity onboarding solution. Some provide the access to stadiums, but a few ones, really few ones, provide the 360 offering. So not only providing the digital onboarding, providing the authentication on a physical space, on the digital environment, all that 360 degrees sets us quite apart.
Yeah. I had a question here. It says, can you explain, this was put to me by one of the team, it says, can you explain Veridas' approach to building and nurturing online communities around a biometric technology, and how these communities contribute to the company's growth and development? And that's a really interesting question that they put there.
And I would say that's one of the reasons why we're having so many conversations with different tier 1 football clubs.
Yeah.
Basically, the reason behind is this one, right? So football clubs need to make money. I mean, they need to survive, and they need to have income coming in. On the other side, those big football clubs, name the big ones, right? So Football Club Arsenal, Manchester, Real Madrid, all those ones.
Yeah.
How many supporters and fans they have around the world?
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions, some of them. The problem is that all that huge community of fans, it's something which is an anonymous community. It's really difficult to reach those people or getting some revenue from those people. The first starting point of providing something to someone who is a really tangible and valuable benefit is being able to identify that person. If you're able to identify that person, making sure that the person who is accessing that benefit is that person itself, it's not another one, it's not being shared with anyone else, then you can start on providing really tangible and valuable benefits. Like, for instance, for example, let's say that you just provide a membership, a digital membership of being a Football Club Barcelona member, and that digital membership gives you access to maybe accessing to the museum of the Football Club Barcelona when you go to the stadium, or provide you access on having a really big discounts for associated companies that work with Football Club Barcelona. But the only way to provide those benefits is that making sure that the person who is using that benefit is the real person. Yeah. And that comes with that biometric identity verified on the first stage, on the first step. So let's say that, I don't know, Football Club Barcelona may have like 300 million supporters in the world, just big numbers, right? Let's say that a small percentage of those members are willing to pay, 100 euros a year for that digital membership that gives really good benefits. If you do the numbers, that takes the club to growth and revenue because of that.
So it's about having the data, about understanding going deep into understanding the data and understanding that person, obviously there's always a person behind the data, and really tailoring to their needs.
Exactly. It's like, for example, in this really nice facility that we have here. I mean, when those people are seated here, when the fans are seated here in the stadium, that's another example. They are anonymous people. If you've gone through a way of identifying those people before entering the stadium, there's a safety point there as well. But also there's a really nice point, which is, which is the sort of crowd that you have in the stadium. So in terms of selling sponsorships, those sponsors become more valuable because you can target much better who is in the stadium. Just an example. So again, once you've been able to identify, verify someone, you can start on thinking of many ways of monetizing that identity in some way, in different ways.
Yeah, I can see why clubs would really, really love what you're doing. What would the step-by-step interaction or experience of a fan be with the biometric technology look like? What does it look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's really easy. It's a really seamless process. Basically, for example, here at the Soccerex, in order to get to the VIP area, you have received a link in your email.
Yeah.
You click in that link, and that link takes you to a process which is, first of all, you can use the desktop or you can use your phone, whatever it's easier for you. Basically, first of all, you scan your ID. So you take a picture of your ID. Secondly, you take a selfie. The selfie is matching the photo ID with your face, making sure that the person who is taking the selfie is a live person. We have all the liveness detection, passive and active lighting detection. And then once you've done that, you're onboarded. Your digital identity is created like this, 1 minute. Once you've done that, you just show up here in the VIP area. You put your face in front of the reader, the device that it's being there. You're in. That way, in just 1 minute.
Speedy process. The future of your innovations is what I want to find about now, or projects that we can expect from Veridas in coming years, because there's lots of talk at the moment about AI. Everybody's got AI this, AI that. How's it going to change football? Because football really is, as a fan that's been going to football for years, and you talk about the technology you come up with, where now I'll just be able to walk to a stadium, it will just identify my face and I walk straight in, compared to the old turnstiles going through and that. I mean, what else can we expect from Veridas going forward in the future?
I think there are two important points that we have to stress. And one is down to the point that you were mentioning, AI is everywhere. And we're thinking about, we're listening about a lot about deep fakes and synthetic voices and impersonating. So Veridas is a company who is investing lots of resources on making sure that we can prevent those frauds.
Because I could just see the ticket tout guys coming up with some sort of AI that could identify a voice or thing to get you into. So that will be one of your challenges going forward in the future, but something that
we're
you could
already
really
working on that. And the good point is all our technology is 100% ours. We develop 100% of our technology and our hardware. So it allows us to improve quickly and being up to date as quick as possible on those things. The second thing that we're going to see a lot of use of it in football clubs and all those sorts of stadiums is digital wallet. So digital wallet is basically the wallet that you have in your phone, where you have your credit cards and all that. You will be able, let's say again that you are a member of any club, you will have your digital identity there that has been already verified. And that identity will only be on your wallet. So the information you have complete sovereignty of that information. So when you're entering a space, when you're entering a digital environment, you will be able to use that digital wallet, but sharing only the information that it's only needed for that use case. So your personal data is not shared with everyone, which is another issue which a lot of people are really, and the world is going into that direction, right? So protecting personal data, digital wallet is allowing that. We're starting deploying digital wallet for some governments and institutions, and it's going to become a big thing, I think, on the following years.
Yeah, I mean, football, like you said, is really changing. I mean, this season, I know going to Arsenal, they introduced a digital, like their season ticket. I remember the first game, like everybody was moaning, but now, like you said, it's sped up the process. I would love to see that one where it just identifies your face, and that'd be truly amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of the Veridas technology in years to come. If people are interested in your products and in your company, if you can just give us a quick shout as to where we can find you, your website, etc.
Yeah, website easy, veridas.com. They can find us there. If you're around the event, obviously we have a booth downstairs. But yeah, reach out through veridas.com. The good point is that we have a website where it's plenty of information, use cases, success stories. It's really, really well developed website, so you'll find lots of information there.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm wishing you the best of success in the future. I'm sure in the future I'll be entering a football ground and it'll be your technology taking me in quickly.
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Robert.
Thank you.